How do we know if the market is trending? When we trade with the trend, we need a way to determine whether the market is trending up, down, or even not trending at all. We can use the Aroon Oscillator to provide answers to these questions, but we will need to be able to understand the signals it's giving and how to interpret them. By the end of this video, you'll understand how to use the Aroon Oscillator effectively to trade with the trend. If we want to use the Aroon Oscillator, we need to think about what determines a trend in the first place. If we think about an uptrend, you might say the market is simply going up, but we need a more concrete definition. We can define an uptrend as when the market is continuously making higher highs and failing to make lower lows. This means if you were to look back at the highs the market has made in a given period, they would be increasing over time. And if you were to look back at the lows in a given period, they would not be going down over time. If the market is making higher highs but still making lower lows, there is not a strong trend present. Think about what would happen if we made higher highs and lower lows at the same time. The market would look something like this. The range of the market would be expanding over time, but we still wouldn't have a trend. A trend requires directional movement. Price must be moving continuously up or down. It's the same situation for a downtrend. Price must be making lower lows and failing to make higher highs to be considered trending down. Otherwise, it could just be ranging, which is the exact opposite of what we're looking for if we're trading with the trend. Not only can the Aroon Oscillator tell us when the market is trending, but also when we don't want to trade. This is key to using it successfully. If we look at the Aroon, we'll see two lines, a blue and orange one. The orange line is the Aroon up line, and the blue line is the Aroon down line. Both of these indicate how much of a trend is present in the up or down direction. But what does it actually mean when we see a line reach the 100 mark? Like we talked about earlier, an uptrend requires the market to make higher highs, and this is exactly what the orange line is telling us. If the orange line reaches 100 on the indicator, we have just broke a new high within the length window of the indicator. You won't see the indicator sit at 100 for long periods of time, because even in a trend, every single candle does not make a new high. In an uptrend, you'll see the orange line start to slope downward for every candle that passes without a new high being broken. The idea is that if price is not going very long without making a new high, the orange line will stay at the top of the indicator. What does it mean when it reaches the zero line? If price does not make a new high within the length window specified, we hit 0 on the indicator. At this point, there is no uptrend present in the price within the length window whatsoever. The last time price made a new high was outside the range of the length setting for the indicator. All this is in the case of an uptrend. In the case of a downtrend, it's the same, but with a blue line, and the indicator is looking for lower lows instead of higher highs. You might be thinking the indicator length setting plays a fairly large role in how the indicator behaves. Is there an ideal length setting we should be using? Before we talk about setting for the indicator, we need to understand the most important part of using this indicator. We have to understand not only when an uptrend or downtrend is present, but when neither is occurring. If we don't, we risk continually taking losing trades. One thing to understand about any trend indicator is that they are completely ineffective when the market is not trending. They will give bad signals that almost guarantee you will lose any trade you place with them. Right when the indicator says the market is trending up and you take a long trade, the price will instantly reverse against you and hit your stop loss. We can build on the knowledge we have so far to figure out how we can counteract this. Looking at the Aroon, you can see we are hitting 100 on the indicator back and forth between the up and down lines. This means the market is not only creating higher highs, but also lower lows. If the price is continuously making higher highs and lower lows, we know we are just ranging and should not attempt to trade with the trend. When the market is ranging, we will see both up and down lines moving parallel with each other. This indicates there is no strong trend present and we should not trade. Don't think of each line as being separate from each other, and just use one when determining if the market is trending or not. The distance the lines are from each other indicates the strength of the trend. You might have one line hitting around 100, but if the other line is sitting near 50, the trend is not as strong. In a powerful trend, the lines will be far away from each other and not moving parallel together. I made a free TradingView version of this indicator that allows you to visualize this clearly. The indicator is in the link below, and there's also a link to sign up to TradingView for free if you haven't already. Looking at this indicator, we see there's no longer an orange and blue line. Now the indicator changes color based on which line has a higher value. If the down line is above the up line, it turns red for a downtrend. If the up line is above the down line, it turns green. One thing you'll notice is the white and gray background that changes. We can use this to see periods of ranging or consolidation in the price. It goes from dark gray, showing a ranging market, to bright white, showing a strong trend. It becomes darker and brighter based on the distance of the up and down line from each other. This way, it's easy to see periods of ranging behavior. The brighter the background, the stronger the trend. This indicator makes it easier to visualize how changing the settings affects the indicator. Let's talk about how to change them. The Aroon indicator only has one setting, the length. It's simple to understand as well. It's just the window length that the indicator looks at for highs and lows. If you set it to 14, it takes a new high or low to be broken within 15 bars for it to reach 100. If we increase it to 200, it now looks at the highs and lows for the past 200 bars. If it reaches 100 with this setting, a new high or low has to have been broken for the past 200 candles. You can see how increasing this would affect its output. Now we can see longer term trends in the market. If no long term trends are occurring, it's going to be ineffective to increase the length. But if we do have longer term trends, we want to capture more and we can increase the length. This will also show us larger periods of consolidation. If we look at the indicator at length 200, we can see very clearly these dark gray areas where the market is not trending at all. We can also see bright white areas where the market was clearly moving strongly in one direction. The length setting will depend on how the market is behaving and how you are using it to trade with. Since a lot of times trends are longer than 14 bars, which is the default setting, I recommend increasing it and seeing what happens. You could also use this with other indicators simply to see where the periods of consolidation are. An overbought/oversold oscillator like the stochastic RSI set to a shorter period for entries and the Aroon Oscillator set to a longer length for gauging the overall trend could be a good pairing. You can check out my video on the stochastic RSI if you want to understand how to use that. If you're interested in more advanced indicators to improve your trading and discretion, check out the Quantifica Patreon, where you can get access to the entire library of all current and future premium Quantifica indicators. Link in the description. If you found this video useful, a like would be greatly appreciated. If you want to see more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe. Thanks for watching.